Oh, wait, say it again so I don't miss it.
People think like, oh, as a comic, your job is to get in trouble. And so, but they don't want to get yelled at. It's like, it's okay to make people mad, but they don't want any pushback. And I think that's wrong.
In my previous video, I discussed the idea of comedians testing the boundaries of their craft. As a refresher, let's begin with a comedian who did not get away with it.
The comedian whose performance at Purdue was met with serious backlash is now apologizing. Thousands of students walked out of the Andy Gross show this weekend after they say the comic was inappropriate and sexually harassed a freshman girl
I'm now
on
having
stage.
trouser
A
excitement.
representative for Gross sent a statement saying he is profoundly sorry and he will no longer perform at colleges.
According to Wikipedia, Andy Gross is still working as a touring comedian. However, Steve, the customer service guy, has been deported.
As a comedian, you want to make people laugh. This is a quote attributed to Andy Warhol that I love. It's just, art is getting away with it.
Let us once again examine this idea of getting away with it. Several decades ago, a young fair-haired boy was born to typical parents in a typical blue-collar American town. But this boy was not typical. Many saw him as shy and soft-spoken. He was a loner who would get lost in his own imagination, his fantasies. He was interested in photography and human anatomy, and by the 1980s, he was an active member in the gay community. He was getting away with it. He was an artist. That artist's name was Jeffrey Dahmer. Now you might be thinking, Jeffrey Dahmer, the amateur human taxidermist, was clearly bizarre. But he wasn't an artist. He didn't get away with it. And while it's true that Jeff met his ultimate demise by suffering one of the most ignominious endings possible, a prison bathroom beatdown, he did have a solid 13 years of performing his twisted and depraved form of art. The Jeffrey Dahmer case highlights a problematic aspect of Andy Warhol's definition of art. Someone can work successfully as a boundary-testing artist for years before it all ends disgracefully due to shifting societal norms or an emergent zeitgeist. Does their art now cease to be art? Perhaps it never was art. Howard Stern is the self-proclaimed king of all media. And while he's certainly had his share of controversies, the fact that he's had a chart-topping book, radio show, and movie is proof that he's been getting away with it for decades. In 1997, The Howard Stern Show received a call from a self-identified serial killer from New Orleans who described details for more than 12 murders.
All right, I got a guy on the phone who claims he's been killing prostitutes and he's wondering why he's doing it.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
So maybe he thinks I have an answer. Is this Ed? Ed?
No, this isn't Ed.
No.
You haven't killed any prostitutes?
No, I never said my name was Ed.
You know about Ed Gein, right?
What happened? How many prostitutes have you killed?
12.
And you're wondering why you do it?
I have a pretty good idea.
Why? Did your mom beat you? Did your mom spank you?
Was your mom a prostitute?
In the years that followed, the credibility of this incident was questioned, as the Stern program regularly received calls from people who claimed to have done terrible things, with some alleging that Howard himself faked the call to boost his ratings. In regard to this allegation, I'm of two minds. On one hand, Howard Stern is a duplicitous and amoral creature who would presumably do anything for ratings.
And these ratings rule your life if you're a radio guy. I mean, they literally kept me up at night.
On the other hand, his radio show does seem like the sort of programming a serial killer would listen to.
Look at this. Conduct in F.
Oh.
Bend over that.
I think my behavior's been good.
No, here you go.
Rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
My hand hurts.
Howard had a lot in common with another media personality who reached the apex of his fame near the year 2000, Jerry Springer. They were both money-hungry circus ringleaders who made millions on the backs of broken freaks and bad actors while capitalizing on the voracious licentiousness of the masses. All this while hiding behind a thin veneer of liberal compassion.
Is it true, and tell me the truth, the week you were at Disney by yourself, was it also gay week?
Oh, if it was really gay week,
that was the first thing he tried to point out.
I'm gonna faint laughing.
Was it an effeminate, high-pitched voice guy who's presumably trying to pass as straight? Magically arriving at Disney alone during Gay Week is objectively humorous.
Was it Gay Week?
That was the first thing he tried to point out. The dates of my trip, which were before Memorial Day. dates of my trip.
You're killing Artie. You're literally going to get your rating.
This scenario was a lot funnier 25 years ago, before every day at Disney World became Gay Day.
Artie can't survive Gay Day.
It's a day future for doing.
It's possible, however, that Stern would scold you for laughing about it today.
My dad, we saw two men kissing one another in Rodney Square. And I looked at him and he said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other.
That's it. That's how I look at it.
Was that the best day?
So you were there for the kick?
Were you the keynote speaker?
Did any guys like approach you?
I didn't even see gays.
Look, I'll be the first guy to question government policies on trans in the military, rainbow-coloured socks, or gay wedding cakes. But this Stern guy and his laughing hyenas...
All right. Listen,
So you were there for a full gay day. The days of my trip overlap.
are really torturing this fella.
wow.
I'm not the one.
So you were there for Gay Pride Week?
You were there.
Excuse me. Are you here for Gay Pride?
I'm sure most people are familiar with the story about Howard Stern and Dana Plato. The latter was a child actress from the 1980s television sitcom Different Strokes.
Would you like to sit on my lap and have me console you?
When an adult Plato appeared on Stern's show in 1999, Howard played his typical role of creepy pervert.
Why don't you get a urine sample from her, Howard?
We're gonna get one.
Throughout her appearance on the show, Stern and others badgered the troubled actress to take a drug test.
I'm tired of defending my character everywhere I go.
Did you ever consider suicide at one point?
Oh, hell no.
Stern cannot be held directly responsible for Plato's death, but it should be noted that his treatment of the actress was par for the course under the Howard Stern Circus tent. For vulnerable people and the psychologically wounded, his radio studio could be a real house of horrors.
Just get on the scale. We all have bets. Stop being so proud. It doesn't matter. We've all been on the scale. I'll get on it. Just get on the scale.
In what could be interpreted as a lack of remorse over his treatment of Plato, in subsequent years, Stern and his crew continued to similarly berate vulnerable women who entered his circus tent. You might say, who amongst us hasn't made a fat joke? Who hasn't laughed at a dumb blonde joke? Howard Stern's listeners might accuse me of playing the role of a white knight, perhaps. But then again, I'm not even sure any Howard Stern listeners actually exist. In the 90s, it wasn't hard to find a Howard Stern listener. Stern had a target demographic: simple, working-class men who were opposed to PC culture and the ruling elites. Men who liked crass humor and telling it like it is. The same type of men who years later formed the core of Donald Trump's voter base.
I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid.
Stern listeners of old, many of whom had mustaches, valued classic American ideals like freedom and truth.
When are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say, it's mandatory to get vaccinated? F them, f their freedom.
So who is the typical Howard Stern listener? This lady? I'm sorry, but I can't envision that, even if NPR were to go off the air. What about this guy? Well, how about this fella? He's been radicalized. He listens to Nick Fuentes now. And this guy? Oh, he's really been radicalized. And while the serial killers of past had the patience to listen to the radio while they plotted, planned, and schemed. The modern version of twisted weirdos don't have that sort of endurance. They're more the type to watch a 30-second TikTok and then go up a school. Even many advocates for incel revenge crimes were disgusted by Stern's comments in the aftermath of Columbine.
There was like really good-looking girls running out of there with their hands over their heads. Did those kids try to have sex with any of the good-looking girls? They didn't even do that. At least if you're going to go kill yourself and kill all the kids, like, why wouldn't you have some sex?
Once again proving that Howard's core demographic are serial killers and not mass murderers. Please see this graph and note that Stern's decline in ratings has corresponded with the decline in serial killers. The science nerds will tell me that correlation does not imply causation. But come on. There's always been something sadistic about Howard. Others may say I'm being a prude. After all, there will always be a place for dark humor. Let's move away from my moralizing and return to the principal issue. Is this art? I would suggest that most of Howard's comedy is too on the nose. In art, on the nose is a phrase that means heavy-handed, too obvious, having neither subtlety nor sophistication. For example, if I were to include an image of Artie Lang's disfigured nose right now, that could be considered too on the nose. So instead, I've included images of noses that South Korean plastic surgeons consider to be attractive.
You use a smelling. I didn't use the N-word.
Just take this for what it is. A creepy pervert seated on a sofa with a black man dressed as a woman, telling the most hackneyed jokes imaginable, while forcing his subordinate/alleged loyal friend to participate in the humiliation ritual. Howard Stern liked to fawn over celebrities, preferring to punch down over punching up. Howard punched down so mercilessly on society's misfits that he made them feel the way Artie Lang's nose looks. Now, rumors are swirling that Howard Stern's Sirius XM show is going to be cancelled. After years of getting away with it, the end may be near. The man who somehow escaped the Me Too movement is now the poster child for the Me Neither movement. As in, you don't listen to Stern? Me neither. But we still have his work. John Keats wrote that a thing of beauty is a joy forever, and infinity will decide whether Stern's work is art or trash that appealed to the basest and most vile instincts of man.